Hey, I'm Jen from Rustic Rehabs, and I am so excited to be part of this collaboration to use these 8 colors and see how far they go. I thought this was going to be an easy challenge. You guys, this was not easy. These colors, though, are amazing, and I'm so excited to be part of this collab. So please watch all the videos because I'm sure you'll get some good pointers, as I've been painting for years, and I learned a ton along the way. First piece was already base coated white, so that was going to make it really easy. I used up a lot of my sea glass, salty kiss, and mint chip on this piece, and those are some of my favorites, so I was loving how it was turning out. I have to tell you too, I'm a new IOD retailer, and this is my first paint inlay, so this is more of a what not to do than what to do. I'll tell you, I've painted a lot of things, but doing the reveal of the paint inlay is next level fun. Till I realized I had wrinkles and I didn't like how it turned out. This is where Bob Ross comes in. I have a 6-foot cutout of him in my brick and mortar, and I have a lot of things, including books that tell me about Bob Ross. Why do I have Bob Ross in my shop? I've been telling people it's because I screw up a lot and he helps you to move on. But what I didn't really realize is, do I really think there are happy accidents? I was not feeling happy with how this piece turned out. So guess what? I'm painting over it. I combined Salty Kiss and Mint Chip and made Minty Kiss. Is that what Debbie calls it? I don't remember. This time I used the Rose Chintz inlay, and I loved how it looked with the paint, but I had a customer who was trying to learn while watching me, and I'd not done it before, and I hadn't lined them up properly, so there was a gap in between. I decided to take some pieces and try to piece it together, and I think it turned out okay. But boy, oh boy, happy accident or not, that imposter syndrome is no joke, you guys. Tell me if you've dealt with that ever. I tell people in paint class all the time, if you like it that way, then that's the way it's supposed to be. But sometimes you don't like what you've made. So do you keep embellishing it and telling yourself it's a happy accident, or do you move on? Do you quit? Quitting isn't an option when you have a brick and mortar store. So I decided I liked it, and if I don't in a month and it doesn't sell, maybe I'll paint it again. But I didn't have time to fret. I needed to get this video done, so I moved on to the next piece, which is a hanging jewelry box. I love these. They are such cool flips. So I'm going in with some white swan, very basic, and then I'm going to put an IOD transfer on. I have done hundreds of transfers, so I was thinking, all right, you're going to be good now. You can show them how to do this like a professional. Just line up those transfers and slap it on. I'm a bad taper, so I'm team Windex and razor blade. How about you? Are you seeing what I'm doing wrong here? I put them in the wrong order. I did it too fast and they ended up being in the wrong order, and there was no way that I could take it off and do it again. Off video, I sat there for a while staring at it thinking, what am I even doing here? I've never really oil painted like Bob Ross, and so I can understand turning something into a happy accident. It seems easier than what I have been doing here today. Because when you put a transfer in the wrong spot, it doesn't line up. But I'll tell you what, florals are easy to hide. And so is it with the Rose Chintz. Unless somebody knows and they are really analyzing it, they're probably not going to notice. That's what I tell my customers all the time, and my clients who take paint class with me. We spend a lot of time talking in my paint classes about not being perfect, not expecting to be perfect. And guess who needed to learn the lesson over and over and over on these pieces? Do they say that? The teacher learns the lesson, right? Isn't that a saying? Well, I was feeling it, you guys, especially when I was working on these late at night after a long day. I forgot to mention that in the middle of me making this video, we had 11 inches of rain in 24 hours in my town. So here I am rolling around on a rolly chair and sucking up the water from my floors. You might think it's crazy, but rolling actually squishes the water out, so I had a reason. My water's a nuisance. Some people in my area have lost everything. So we try to do better with what we've got, and that's what I'm doing here. My second paint inlay went better, you guys. It's so fun. This one I'm going to keep for myself. It doesn't sell because I think it's adorable. Next is this chair shelf that somebody else made and I picked up at a St. Vinny's. I went back and forth about whether I should replace the fabric or not, and the people who were in the shop at the time all voted to keep the fabric, so that's what we're doing. Here I'm doing a little bit of wet distressing, then I'm sealing it, and then I'm adding some silver wax. At this point, we've used up most of our paints, but not all of them, you guys. I've got some little black dress left and a few other colors, including yellow and a little bit of flirtatious, so we got to use them up. Oh, and we've got a bunch of cowgirl coral, and we're going to have to figure out a project to use that. Jamie and Debbie made some great stencils here for some summer signs, and so I'm using one of these. I sell these on my website, rusticrehabs.com, and the stencil brushes too. I barely had any white swan left, and that actually works out great because when it's a little drier and a little thicker, it works for better stenciling. Here's a peek at a few of the stencils. If you'd like to come in and make some for yourself, I've got tons of wood and different projects that you can use to make some signs for outside or in your sunroom or wherever. What do you think? Do you like signs? Would you make some of these and put them in your house or give them to friends? Drop me a comment. Last project is a milk can that I had painted yellow and put a transfer on earlier in the summer, but the transfer got very faded from being outside, and I really wanted to turn it into a jack-o'-lantern. So I started with the cowgirl coral and the flirtatious with a little bit of yellow, and it made a pink, and I absolutely hated it. So I took some fire starter and dumped that in, which is a little bit cheating, but girl, gotta get this done. We had to get this done. I love a little bit of black, just enough left to do the handles. It really makes it pop. So these are our projects, you guys. Meet Vanessa. She's a little bit salty and a little bit sweet, and she reminded me that things don't have to be perfect to be absolutely gorgeous. Dahlia reminded me that most people aren't paying as much attention to you as you think. If beauty's in the eye of the beholder, who's to say which end is up when it comes to florals? For the products we showed today and more, visit my website, rusticrehabs.com. Carrie was actually an easy project and just reminded me of the power of paint. The difference that a little bit of paint can make in changing the mood is huge. And our little friend Gina reminded me that this is supposed to be fun. Keep going and you'll find your success. Don't let little things get you down. This little sign just makes me happy and it reminds me of play. Whether you're playing in the garden or playing in the paint, just do it. This is Jackie, the lantern, get it? And it reminded me that we can always take something and make something new. Thank you for watching. Mission accomplished. Bye, Bob. He's being shy. Bye, thanks.